see Imo and Bonello. Bonello had 2 sergeants of engineers in the seat of his car with him. They stiffened when I came up. "They were left to do something to a bridge," Bonello said. "They can't find their unit, so I gave them a ride." "With the Sir Lieutenant's permission." "With permission," I said. "The lieutenant is an American," Bonello said. "He'll give anybody a ride." One of the sergeants smiled. The other asked Bonello if I was an Italian from North or South America. "He's not an Italian. He's North American English." The sergeants were polite, but did not believe it. I left them and went back to Imo. He had 2 girls on the seat with him and was sitting back in the corner and smoking. "Barto, I said. He laughed. "Talk to them, Tenente," he said. "I can't understand them." "Hey!" He put his hand on the girl's thigh and squeezed it in a friendly way. The girl drew her shawl tight around her and pushed his hand away. "Hey," he said, "tell the Tenente your name and what you're doing here." The girl looked at me fiercely. The other girl kept her eyes down. The girl who looked at me said something in a dialect I could not understand a word of. She was plump and dark and looked about 16. "Sorella?" I asked, and pointed at the other girl. She nodded her head and smiled. "All right," I said, and patted her knee. I felt her stiffen away when I touched her. The sister never looked up. She looked perhaps a year younger. Imo put his hand on the elder girl's thigh, and she pushed it away. He laughed at her. "Good man," he pointed at himself. "Good man," he pointed at me. "Don't you worry." The girl looked at him fiercely. The pair of them were like 2 wild birds. "What does she ride with me for if she doesn't like me?" Imo asked. "They got right up in the car the minute I motioned to them." He turned to the girl. "Don't worry," he said. "No danger of," using the vulgar word. "No place for." I could see she understood the word, and that was all. Her eyes looked at him very scared. She pulled the shawl tight. "Car all full," Imo said. "No danger of. No place for." Every time he said the word, the girl stiffened a little. Then, sitting stiffly and looking at him, she began to cry. I saw her lips working, and then tears came down her plump cheeks. Her sister, not looking up, took her hand, and they sat there together. The older one, who had been so fierce, began to sob. "I guess I scared her," Imo said. "I didn't mean to scare her." Bartolomeo brought out his knapsack and cut off 2 pieces of cheese. "Here," he said, "stop crying." The older girl shook her head and still cried, but the younger girl took the cheese and commenced to eat. After a while, the younger girl gave her sister the 2nd piece of cheese, and they both ate. The older sister still sobbed a little. "She'll be all right after a while," Imo said. An idea came to him. "Virgin?" he asked the girl next to him. She nodded her head vigorously.